All right, the wild and exotic adventures of a wasp. I think we have a story that takes place somewhere down around Allegheny.
Right, funny story. I graduated from high school, and then I worked a year before I went to college because I needed to get some money together for college. So I was then 18, and most of my contemporaries around were not old enough to buy beer, so I could buy beer. And back in those days, we had fraternities and sororities in high school. And each fraternity and each sorority would go to Allegheny State Park and rent a cabin over, I think it might have been an Easter weekend. I can't remember what that was all about. So we'd go down there and drink, as kids do, and get in trouble, whatever. But it was a great time. So they wanted me to go into Salamanca and buy beer. So they gave me all the money they had, $2, $3 for whatever, and I went in there in somebody's car, I can't remember, and brought the beer back. So we sat in our cabin, and we all had several beers, and then we heard that there was a party down at somebody else's cabin. So we all went down there, I think to the Phi Delta cabin, and it was a good party, but then we heard there was a better party at somebody else's cabin. So we started out, we linked our arms, and we walked right down the middle of the road on the way to the other party. And a car pulled up in front of us. Its headlights in our eyes. And we had a friend, Charlie Anderson, who'd been driving around with a 36 Ford. And I thought it was Charlie's 36 Ford. So I just kept right on marching. And I stepped on the bumper, I stepped on the fender, I stepped on the hood. I got up on top of the car. And all of a sudden, boom, a spotlight hits me right in the eyes. I was on top of a cop car. A parked police car. So, the guy pulls me down. He shoves me in the car. I went to the other side. I tried to get out. The other cop shoved me back in there and said, "You're in trouble, kid. Don't make another move." So he said, "We're going down to the park office." Now, these were not regular cops. They were sort of park police. I'm not sure what that, what kind of authority they had. But anyhow, we started down there. They got a call about a disturbance at another party. So we went up there, and a friend of mine, Carl Folletta, had done something. So they got Carl, and they put him in the back seat with me. And he began to talk. He said, "Look, there's been some mistake here. I wasn't really the one in trouble. I tried to do my best to calm it down. And they said, "Okay, Carl, you can leave." So I said, "Geez, I can talk my way out of this. These guys are reasonable." So I started talking. The guy said, "Shut up. You're in trouble." So we went down to the, it wasn't really a police station, it was kind of like the park office. And they said, "You have been charged with destruction of state property," because I had put some scratches on the top of the cop car. And they said, "You're going to be fined," I think it was like $25. So I said, "Well, look, I don't have that kind of money." I said, "Let me go back to my friends, and I'll raise that money. I'll be here at 9 o'clock in the morning." So I went back, and they'd all give me their money for beer. They didn't have any money left, so a guy gave me 50 cents, a buck here, another buck here. I finally got to exactly $25. No, I didn't. I got to about $22. So I went down there, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they said, "Okay, if you got the money," I said, "I got $22. Not enough. You got one more hour to raise the rest of the money." So I went back, I begged, I cajoled, I did everything. I talked to other. I finally got enough money, so I went down there and paid it off. They said, "Okay, your fine is paid, you're no longer charged." So I left. Now the upshot of this story is that many years later, I went in the Army. And I'd taken basic training, and then we had tests and everything. And I was selected to be a candidate for what they called CID, the Counterintelligence Division. And that meant that you lived in civilian clothes, you worked in cities and whatever, and you weren't in the Army, you were slugging around in the mud. You were doing sort of plain clothes work. So they had a guy who interviewed me. I think it was a colonel, and go on, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Have you ever been arrested?" And I said, "Well," I hesitated. He said, "Well, tell me about it." So I told him about that incident. He said, "Sorry, you're disqualified. You're up to the infantry." So that was the worst thing about that episode at all. Prevented me from giving me a great job.
Yeah, great job, and you might be in the CIA now.
That's right. I could have been. Who knows?
But you just spent, plenty of time in jail. But you didn't spend overnight, just an hour.
No, they let me go back to the cabin
Okay.
and raise the money. So that was the good news. That was really the only time in my life that I have ever been close to being arrested.
In the back of a cop car.
In the back of a cop car. First of all, on top of the cop car, then in the back of the cop car.
All right, well, let's. I think we have one more short one here about a birthmark.
Oh, well, it's not really a funny story. It's a very strange coincidence. When my mother was pregnant for me, when she was about to deliver, she tripped and fell on the cellar stairs and cut her right leg, had some scratches on there. And she went and had it taken care of, and it was all bandaged up. Within about a week, I was born. And on my right leg, I have a birthmark that starts about 6 or 8 inches up from my ankle and goes all the way to the end of my foot, exactly in the same place where my mother had hurt her foot and was bandaged up. Now, how's that for coincidence? I can't explain it, but that's what happened.
But you have an otherwise perfect body.
An otherwise perfect body, exactly.
Except now for a little scar.
Well, yeah, I have this little knee problem. We'll see how that works out.
That'll be another story.
Yeah, and I also have a little bit of a gut problem. So I always tell that story when they ask me about the scar. I pull my pants up and stick my gut out, and I say, the only blemish on an otherwise perfect body.
All right, well, that has been another episode of the wild and exotic adventures of a wasp. Stay tuned for more to come.